Okay, so we are live, okay, and some more people is joining. Let me see if I can organize this. Okay, perfect. There you go. So, hello and welcome to this wonderful session on global communities. My name is Ricardo Triana. I am the managing director for PMI in Latin America, and I'm going to be your moderator today. And with me, I have three wonderful people from all around the world, and I would like to for them to introduce yourselves. And let's talk first about what you do, what's your organization, and then we can have the conversation about global communities. Okay. So let me start first with Joe. Okay, Joe.
Yes, thank you so much. Joe Puz. I'm here in the United States in the West Coast out in the state of Arizona. Uh, from a personal company perspective, I'm founder of the PMO Squad, and maybe you know me as well from host of Project Management Office Hours, the radio show. But for today's purposes, when we talk about communities, I'm founder of the PMO Leader Community. And we're a community that's global, that's really about bringing together people in a agnostic form where we're not promoting a single type of credential or methodology or framework. It's really just a community where the people can come together and interact and share and network with one another. So very happy today to join with Leo and Americo, who I know real well, and have a great discussion about global communities. I think this will be fun.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. Let's go with you, Americo. So I know.
All
I know.
right. Very good. So, hello everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our guests today. Right. Thank you, Ricardo, for supporting us today and participating in this panel discussion. So, I'm Americo Pinto. I'm the founder and the chair of PMO Global Alliance. So PMO Global Alliance is a community of PMO professionals and PMOs. We have many different types of projects, such as educational projects, social projects. We have publications. We have the PMO Global Awards. Today, it's the largest awards for PMOs in the world. So there are many interesting opportunities. And today, with 13,000 members in 123 countries. 2 days ago, we got our first member in Mauritius. So now we are in 123 countries, and actually we try to work together. And these people, they lead most of this project. So everything is based on the passion and on the efforts of this group. So it's a pleasure to be with you here today.
Thank you, Americo. And what about you, Leonardo?
First of all, I want to say thank you, Peter Watson, for this amazing initiative to put all us together, no, for sharing, for our ideas, and Ricardo, thank you for moderate this session with a wonderful professionals, great professionals. Uh, Sorry, I have to say that, but these guys, Joey and America, they are one of my favorites. They are professionals about PMO around the world. So I learning every day about this one. They are for me. They are any kind of it's a very difficult to explain the impact they give me to create PM officers since the beginning. We have 5 years. In the past November, we have the five anniversary of PM officers, and it's born like a professionals like everyone is listening us right now. That we believe that PMO is more than only a concept, is more than an expression, or is more than a phenomenon. Is a wonderful profession. This is a wonderful challenge for all the organizations around the world, because all the organizations have or manage a portfolio of projects and or products. So when we discovered that many organizations, they don't are managing currently in the best way his portfolio, we discovered that we need a challenge for all of us, and that's why is born PM officers in Spain. That's why when I met Americo Pinto about the PMO Global Alliance later, a few years later, to join with the PMO leader and other wonderful people in around the world, is just to keep going, to share all knowledge and experiences. So PM Officer is a global community, but global because born from a Spanish language people. Because around the world, the most of information and the most contents are in English, but in Spanish, unfortunately or not, there is not too much information about this. That's why I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to sharing and to put it all together, trying or taking all the English concepts, an organization like PMO Global Alliance, the PMO leader, and other PMO, PMI, obviously, and the other organizations, to put in Spanish, speaking or talking the PMO concepts and beyond. Yeah, because so we are sharing many free resources and trying to be better in our lovely profession in project management and project management officers. So that's why I'm trying to share on this. And thank you very much for this invitation, for trying. This is our main goal for all of us in some way or another way. I believe that this is our main goal. Thank you.
No, and actually that's interesting because I work with PMI, So for me, PMI is not a membership association, it's more a community, and that's what it makes the difference. It made a difference in my life, in my professional life, but also the personal side. That community, that sense of community. And we were talking about global community. So let me ask you something, Americo, let's start with you. Why a global community and why a community is so important in your opinion?
Well, Ricardo, for me, one of the most important aspects that make a community very important is the fact that we have many fantastic people thinking about PMOs, about project management, great people that are genius, and they are doing or creating great things around project management area. But I really believe that together we can not in some kind of fantastic personal ability, but the most important point is how together we can sum up our knowledge, our experience, and generate great value for everyone. And I think this is the spirit of a community. We can see in our colleague, we can see a peer, right? Someone that in some ways similar to us in terms of challenges, experience, and interests. And if we decide to work together, we can do much more if we try to do something alone. That's the spirit. So that's why today the idea of managing a community attracts me much more than creating by myself, some ideas and methodologies and tools. I could do that. I've already done that in the past. But I see that the most valuable things, the most valuable results, they can come from the real stars. And the real stars are the members of a community that are engaged with a specific objective and a purpose.
And in your case, Joe, anything to add that you see as a value of the community?
Well, certainly echo what Americo said as far as the value of many working together exceeds what you can do alone. And I think having that opportunity for people who maybe don't like to be on the stage, right? Not everybody likes to come up here and talk. They just want to contribute and learn. To give them a place to go, be almost a silent partner or a non-visible partner where they can go out there and contribute to that greater good to try to help their profession. In our PMO world, PMI really hasn't embraced it the way they have for the individual contributor. So there isn't this million-person community for the PMO profession like we have for individuals or IPM or IPMA or any of the others that are out there. So what Americo started, right, he's the founder really of all of our different communities, was this ability for a leadership profession that helps organize project management organizational functions to get together and rally around that and create an awards and create surveys and create all of these things that our industry needs. I think communities give us that better because there's more people who don't want to be on the stage than there are who do want to be on the stage. And frankly, I like being on the stage, but I'm tired of seeing myself on stage. I want to hear from others, right? I want to hear from the other thousands of people in our industry who have decades of experience that they can share so that we can all be better from that. So I think maybe it's an expansion of what Americo said, because really that's what it is, right? It's a big group hug, right? It's an opportunity for all of us to work collectively to try to make all of us better. I mean, that's really the spirit of community.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Leonardo, about these communities, but in PMO and in the PMO world. What have you found that it's important for the PMO professionals with all these communities?
Aligned with Americo and Joy have mentioned it. I do believe that there's a huge difference when we are talking about PMO concepts between Latin America, between Europe, and the rest of the world. A huge difference. And one of the main concepts for us, on the main goals for us, is trying to put all together, because for us, it's very important when we are sharing knowledge or in universities in Spain and Latin America, they understand exactly or almost, because there is not unique truth, there are almost the same concepts that the other communities or other countries or other organizations like PMO Leader or PMO Globalized or PMI or another one, the same concepts all over the world. So if people in Spain or Latin America take this knowledge, these concepts, they realize to put all in practice, it doesn't matter any country. If they are moving in Latin America, they're moving in Europe, they can apply it. If they are moving in I don't know, in other I don't know, in the rest of the Europe, they can apply it or USA, because it's different. I'm living in Spain from the past 20 years, but I'm from Mexico. I was working in USA and for airlines, and in Mexico for the rest of Latin America. It's very, very different versus Europe. And when we are talking about the Arabian countries, it's very, very difficult. They're different, sorry. So if we are trying to put all together, it's my personal dream that if one person, one young people take the concepts, the current concepts and the future concepts about PMO or beyond, they can apply it. It doesn't matter where, in USA, in Europe, it doesn't matter if they want in Europe or the rest of the world. It doesn't matter in Africa as well, because if we are really talking about a global community, we need to put all together, and not only about countries, languages as well. Yes, first of all, English, yes, was business. Yeah, we know that, but the Spanish as well, because there are so many people in Latin America. Is wonderful, but there is another languages like Portuguese, French. If we are putting all together, we can speak all together the same language, not only about the project management that PMI realized from the past 50 years ago, since today. No, we need to look to the future, and the PMOs and beyond is the present and the future. If we pull all together, when we work all together, we are creating the future, not only for us, for the people who is behind us, the young people who is going to lead. And remember that we are in a world of changes with the new technologies, and this is our world is changing, and we need to be ready for sharing our experiences, because we for us, but with the young people who is going to lead the next future of our age, of human age. I'm not talking about project management at PMO, be young.
No, and I understand that because actually that was interesting in your comment and also in what Joe mentioned. One of the things that when you realize it's not really about if it's only PMO or project management, is the community, is the fact that people can come together and talk about what's going on. And there will be some things that are similar and some things that are completely different because of the culture. So just the fact that you come here and you can have a space to collaborate or to grab knowledge or to share with someone or to create something new or to improve something that is existing, that's the real strength of the community. And we realize that in PMI, something that happened, and actually I exist in PMI because we did regionalization. We say it's not the same in Europe or Asia Pacific or Latin America. We need to understand what's going on in here. But in any case, it doesn't mean that now it's a different PMI. It's a piece of PMI, but within the global community. I like this term of local, thinking global, thinking local. No, so we need to just adjust that. And additionally, I think that it's important the fact that we can bring people from anywhere. I mean, you can be from the financial services, and you are going to be, you are in the social product, and we have the same language, okay? And we can talk about topics that are important for us. And that's the beauty of all this. I am in Mexico these days because I was having a meeting with my team in PMI. So it's 16 people. And in the meeting room, we were talking, speaking Spanish, Portuguese, English, okay? At all times. And the conversation never stopped. And that was interesting because we were continuing speaking, and someone say something in Portuguese, the other one in Spanish, and the other one was replying in English. And I think that that's the important piece of this, is like the conversation never stops. And taking this to a community, doesn't matter where you are coming from, we can work together, we can create things together. If you want to be on the stage, welcome. If you want to be behind the stage and doing something, that's okay. So I was asking the participants to just put the questions in here in the QA, and I'm going to be bringing some of the questions here so we can actually answer questions or bring people to talk to you, okay? And let me start with this one, with Priyanka. So I'm going to be showing the question here. So this is the question from Triana. How would you say is the PMO Global Alliance and the great network of good people contributing to the community development around the world? And it's contributing to the SDG goals. Is there any
Very good. Yeah, sustainability is a key point, right? Priyanka, I think that we have many opportunities to focus on sustainability in many different ways. Let me give you some examples. Today, we are just starting a new specific group oriented to healthcare industry. So it's something new in PMO Global Alliance. We are creating now some like community of practices focused on different types of industry. And why? Because I believe that this way we can reinforce the sense of belonging, right? So we are not talking anymore, we are not talking only about PMO people, but PMO people in a specific industry. So that's something that I believe make a lot of sense. So this new group that will be launched in 3 days, actually, they will have many projects, but one of the projects is named Caring for Africa. So what they will do is a kind of mentoring and technical support to project managers and PMO leaders in hospitals in Africa, in some African countries, with a low development level. So yesterday I was in a meeting with one of our members in Singapore, and we were discussing how we could collaborate with some of his projects that are focused on children, actually educating children with some project management aspects, something in some way a little similar with what PMI Educational Foundation is doing very well for some years. So the point is, if we can have creative ideas, there are a lot of opportunities for us to generate some impact. And when we have creative ideas, and it's easy to make people feel in love of what we are proposing, right? And this way they feel really motivated to collaborate and to lead all these initiatives. So I see that there are many opportunities for all our communities to do that. And there is something important that I would like to mention, that PMI, IPMA, all these big organizations, they are a model for many of us in many different ways. I usually say that they are the big fishes, and we are the small fishes that live in the tail of that big fish, and why? Because we can be complementary. Because when we talk about project management, it's a whole big word, and PMO, it's a small audience. So we can deal with that. We can focus on that, something that for a big organization would be very difficult. So this way we can generate much more impact being complementary to these organizations that are leading project management around the world. That's why PMO Global Alliance has been working very closely to PMI, IPMA, and other organizations around the world. IAPM, International Association of Project Managers, we've established some partnership with them recently, and I really believe on that. I'm a member of PMI since 1998, so almost 25 years, and everything that I know about community management and how to engage people, volunteers, I learned it from my journey at PMI, and I'm still a very active member. So I believe that we can put all these experiences together and generate a lot of impact for many countries and regions that really need it.
And I guess that's super important. And let me just tell you something. In here in PMI now, I realize this with my teams in Latin America. It's important to have the professional volunteerism of creating a conference and talking about these technical aspects and going to the business executives, but also you need something from here, okay? You need to just create impact. And that's the piece that we can actually connect. We can bring people together to just say, why don't we do a hackathon with children, teenagers, so they can actually create ideas on how to solve the climate crisis, okay? And then we have an impact. Or we find projects where we are teaching children that are poor children in Latin America English and project management through an association with another organization. And those are volunteers, communities working together to solve issues that are important for them, not only the technical aspect, because otherwise we're going to have a very perfect PMO world, project management, portfolio management, but a very crappy world in terms of humanity, and that's not the point.
Yeah, it's true.
So, Joe, let me ask you, have you seen anything, do you do something like this in PMO Leader, anything that it's related to the social part, or how do you see it?
Yeah, I think, and just for background and perspective, I'm a PMI member. I'm a member of PMO Global Alliance, of course, with the PMO leader. And I think that's part of the beauty of what we're doing is you can be a member of multiple organizations and contribute in multiple platforms. So the PMO leader really has only been around for about 9 months now. And in that 9 months, we've been able to get up to 900 members over 65 countries. And what we're trying to do is create a platform for the community members to come to us with their ideas, and then we run with it. So an example would be, we've all talked about the alphabet soup of different project management governing bodies and the different certifications you have. Well, Michael O'Connor came to me. He's recognized within PMI for his contributions. He was just awarded within the PMO Global Alliance for PMO Leader of the Year. And he came to us and said, I would love to do a webinar series where I go talk to the different executives from those organizations and have them share within a common community what their communities are about. So our community is actually trying to promote and advance other communities, because that's how we all benefit. So here we have a recognized person who doesn't want to just do something for the PMO leader. He's trying to expand the boundaries and bring on someone from IAPM, and Americo will be joining us in the future with that as well for PMO Global Alliance. And we had IPM on recently. So as we work for the members, we let the members come to us with their ideas, much like Americo mentioned they do in the Global Alliance, where they talked about the healthcare initiative they want to do. What people don't have as individuals is a platform to go do something on a global stage. And when we have these communities like PMO Global Alliance or PMO officers or PMO leader, we create the platform where an individual's voice can become bigger, because we have other people in the community who want to take that small voice and amplify it to make it larger. So that's my recommendation to everybody listening, right? Is if you want to achieve something and you're not sure how to do that by yourself, know that when you're in a community, you are not by yourself. You can actually rely on the community to go do that. So sustainability, poverty, healthcare, obviously we don't want to get into political discussions and those things. Countries and governments deal with those. But we as people trying to improve life around the world, that's what communities give you. That's the platform that we can give to elevate the voice and make good things happen.
That's true. Well, I was using this expression of saying, you were never alone, you are not alone, you will never be alone. And that's the beauty of belonging to something, whatever you want, the church,
Yeah.
the PMI, whatever you want, okay? The feeling that you are not here alone. And when you are not alone, you have to learn that it's not only about the community, it's not only about PMI or PMO Global Alliance, it's about working all together, because at the end of the day, we are just the same, okay? Independently of where you are coming from, we need to be working together to do something bigger. How do you see this, Leonardo, the collaboration among associations, PMO Global Alliance, PMI, your PMO officers, chapters, or IPMA, etc.? How have you seen this collaboration? Where have you seen collaboration among communities?
Well, Ricardo, it's a wonderful question, because it's a huge challenge, and it's very hard to find this path together. Why? My reflection is simple. The most of the people in our communities are passive. They are expecting all resources, all content, just to take it away, just expecting to take this information and put in practice in his own profession or companies, or maybe they are freelancers, no, consultant independents, whatever point. So they are only expecting information. They are not promoting. They are not active participation to sharing knowledge. The most of them. If we make a survey, we realize that, I'm not joking, the 99% of people are only expecting contents to take in and put in practice. They are not participating in action. They are not putting his time. It's very difficult. Yes, I want to be gentle. It's very difficult situation, because most of people right now are in the bottom on Survivor, okay? Because it's very, very complicated situation, and they only put in his focus in living day after day. That's it. They don't have more time to participate in something like this. That's why it's very special. People like everything around the PMI, with the chapters, with the volunteers, with right now a PMO Global Alliance, with like Peter, like now, and in India chapter with another initiatives. I'll enjoy with another initiative, the PMO leader, because all of us, from our side at the same time, but all of us, we are trying to give or to sharing knowledge and contents and beyond. But it's very difficult to bring people to participate all together.
Yeah.
So if we, yeah, now Ricardo.
But could I just say something, Ricardo? Leo, there's something very important that I've learned very early in my career and in my life. 22 years ago, when I joined PMI, I was very young, almost a baby, right? And actually, I was in the beginning of my career, and I learned after a couple of years that being active in a community is much more about what you give than what you take. Taking benefits is something natural. It happens, but when you start just focusing on what you can take, in terms of benefits and actually you miss the point, because there are many benefits of being involved, of getting involved with the PMO leader, PMO officers, PMI, PMO Global Alliance, but all of them is much more related with things that will come up naturally, than just small benefits that you can get today, tomorrow, next month, like discounts or everything is absolutely nothing if you compare with what you can really take in the long term. I usually say that I owe my career, and it's true, I owe my career to one day, one specific day. That day I remember very well. It's when I participated in a meeting that someone invited me. Oh, could you come to this meeting? And it was the foundation meeting of the second chapter, PMI chapter in Brazil. So it was my first time with PMI, with a chapter, everything else. And that day was very important because I owe a big part of my career, things that I could achieve in many years to that moment, to PMI. PMI was really important in my career. And that's why I feel that I can give something back, not only collaborating with PMI, but also in being complementary, because we can do more and we can go further if we can be complementary. So if we understand that we should give, and taking something from that is something natural that comes with the time in many different ways, I believe that we can really get the best we can from the experience of participating in a real community. I believe in that.
No, full agree. No, full agree. But the point is, most of the community are waiting for this content. Yeah. We are sharing from the past years. I don't know how many years, because all of us, we are sharing. We are webinars in PMI chapters. I'm a PMI follower, and I'm trying to share with this as well, and the others initiatives. But I need, is my point of view, obviously. We need to, I don't know, to a lifting, a completely new point of view. How can we share things, but at the same time, the people is coming with us for sharing his money. It's not. I'm not talking about volunteers. I'm not talking about volunteers, because volunteers is only about, well, okay, the PMI number one and chapters. No. In another concept, it's very difficult.
Yeah, but you can give knowledge, you can give time, you can give, there are many things that you can give, even for someone that has no experience like me 22 years ago, I believe that I collaborated, I contributed a lot with what was possible for me at that time. So we can give many different things, it can be as a volunteer or not. There are many different ways. But the point is, when we give, we take something back, but when we just want to take, it's like a predator, we just take what we need at this time, and we don't create anything additional, that's how I feel, right?
I think the other tie into that is we're all on a journey, right?
Yeah.
Life isn't static, right? We live in dynamic worlds, and we all know this based on the world we live in the past 2 years, right? But 22 years ago, Americo, you were going through that evolution for yourself.
Exactly.
Same for me. The first time I always utilized mentors, but the first time somebody asked me to be their mentor, the feeling that I had inside was 10 times the feelings that I had when I was being mentored. To Americo's point, the giving back felt so much more rich.
Exactly.
But 5 years prior to that, I wasn't ready to be a mentor because I was on this journey. So for everybody, as we travel through that journey, I think know where you are in your own personal journey and your professional journey to know what you can give. Because if it is all taking, well, then no one's giving and nobody benefits, right? There has to be a balance. And as we gain more experience, we usually have more to give. But if you're young, maybe you don't have experience to give. Maybe you have energy to give.
Exactly.
Right? Maybe you have a different perspective that you can provide. Right? So there's always opportunity for everybody to think on a journey as opposed to just what am I doing today? Right? Where do you want to go? And depending on how you want to go, you may need different experiences to get there. So be open to all the different experiences.
From my point of view, I have learned, and especially during these 2 years, but in my career, that sometimes you have to push people, okay, to say, do something. We talk too much about volunteerism, but volunteerism, because it's like saying you have to do something with your career. Maybe you don't know where you are, maybe you don't know where you want to go, but if you don't take action, you can die tomorrow, okay? It's like, what are you doing right now to just make an action? And this is interesting because I was listening to Leonardo. Imagine during these 2 years, PMI, the world of communities in PMI, has been always used to have local face-to-face meetings, and now we don't have. And now we have to engage people. But they didn't participate because they say, I want to just listen to the record tomorrow or next week, okay? They never listen to the recording. So we say we need to just do events that are live, for example. Just come here and just make something, okay? And make them participate. The engagement part is really difficult, and sometimes you have to just push people for the engagement and bring people for the engagement. That's the beauty of the volunteerism and giving something back. It's like saying you have to do something. You just cannot be here just listening to these beautiful, wonderful people just talking, because that doesn't change your life, okay?
Yeah.
But I would say our conversation is about community. And in my perspective, in community, volunteerism doesn't actually fit because you're part of the community. You don't have to volunteer because you're already part of the community.
And that's as actually, I agree with the thing of this is not volunteerism. It's like everything at the end of the day, once you are part of the community, you are already volunteering,
Right.
It's like you don't know, but you are already there. Take away the word of volunteerism because maybe it's scary for you, but you are already doing something just by sharing my knowledge, just by sharing experience, or bringing this forum, or creating a template or so. That's already, you are giving something back.
Right now, we are volunteers. No, we as Americo have mentioned it. Right now, we are sharing our time, and we are volunteering with the rest of people. Just we are sharing our thoughts. No, we are not putting focus in our experience in the past 20 or maybe 25 or maybe 30 years. We are veterans, no, but
Let me just bring two questions that I have here for you, okay? And because of the time, we need to be wise on the time. I'm going to be just choosing the person that is going to be replying to this, okay? Let me start with you, Joe. Is PMO manager just a role that you go when you get too senior for project management? And should it have its own career path? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And I think it's its own career path for multiple reasons. One, you can be a great project manager and be a horrible PMO leader, right? Leadership of a team, of an organization, of a function within your organization is very, very, very different than running a project, right? It's just, you could take that for any other function within the company. You don't have to be a great accountant to be a great CFO, right? You didn't have to be a great HR administrator to be a great chief people officer. You don't even need to be a project manager to have become a PMO leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
Managing and leading the team and the function requires a different set of skill sets. And that's why we called our site PMO Leader, because we didn't want to be a project management function. We want it to be a leadership function. So I absolutely think it's a separate career path. I think it's a leadership path. It doesn't mean you can't grow into it from a project manager's role. Of course you can. But I think there are two different paths that are related, yet still different.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me
I
ask.
fully agree with this point of view. Just to say that.
And let me ask you, Americo and Leonardo, what initiative can be shared to build a robust image of a PMO resources as its own career path and not as a step for the future PM? Something related to what we were discussing, but one initiative, one advice that you can say to create that image of the PMO is not a future PM.
Well, Leonardo would like to go first, or can I?
Go ahead, Americo.
Okay. So I said that I fully agree with Joe. I see that it's a totally different role. Of course, we are talking about the same, the same basic resource that is projects or portfolios, etc. But the role is totally different. I also see that even the competences, the psychological profile should be different, because I say that all the time. The PMO is a service provider, so actually a PMO is much closer to a consultant, to someone that is really good on customer service, because that's what you are doing. You are serving someone in the company, executives, project managers, functional managers. So there are many things that you should know beyond project management. Project management is just one of the points, right? Of course, if you have some experience, it's not bad, right? But it doesn't mean that you will be successful. So the first step to make all of this happen is that we can recognize that they are different things, right? So if you decide to have a PMO, or if you want to hire a PMO leader, don't believe that hiring a great PMO, a great project manager, everything will be fine, because it's not true. You need someone with a different background, not a different, but a complementary background, complementary competences. And sometimes you can take someone from another area, not exactly a project manager, but someone that have the basic competences on project management. But this person can do a great job. I know many of them doing a great job, and they were not project managers in the past. So we are talking about different things, and if as soon as we recognize that, I think it will be better for our companies, our executives, and for ourselves.
Full agree. Full agree. It's very, very different when you are managing 10 projects at the same time, or 20 projects at the same time, when you are managing 100 or 200 in a PMO. That's totally different, because when you are talking about 10 or 20 or maybe 50 people, and when you are talking when more than 100 people, and when you are talking or managing several third suppliers in around the world in different time zones on different cultures. When you're talking about project management, most probably you are talking a very it's not easy, yeah. Just it's not very easy to manage as a project manager to manage 20 or 25 projects at the same time. But it's totally different, 100 or 200 at the same time. It's nothing to be the same. It's very complicated because in this time, when you are managing projects, maybe you are in the tactical level, and when you are managing more than 100, you are managing at executive level. Very different.
It's true.
So, my friends, time has come, okay? So, we have 3 minutes. Each one has 1 minute to give a final idea on global community, something that you think is important to remember tomorrow for the participants of this session. 1 minute, okay? Let's start with you, Leonardo.
Well, we are in a new era. We need to learn and unlearn. A nomad person. We need to keep learning day after day. And by one hand, by the other hand, my point of view, we should learn from in a silos from young people, because I'm learning from a very young people, because right now they are genius in a technical knowledge that I have not. No, but I'm learning from these guys, very young people, amazing, genius, wonderful, and the seniors, because they have a lot of experiences. Because after so many years on the road, imagine how many experience they can share us. So we need to feel a young people for learning and for sharing at the same time. It's very complicated. That's my point of view. Thank you, Ricardo.
Thank you. Joe.
I think in the PMO leader, one of the taglines we use on all of our social media posting is one PMO world, one community. And that doesn't mean that the PMO leader is the only community. It means that all of us are part of the same community. So I encourage everybody to join House of PMO, PMO officers, PMO Global Alliance, PMO Impact Engine, PMO Squad, PMO Leader, all of them, because you're going to get a wide, diverse breadth of experiences to be able to help all of us improve. So to me, this discussion about global communities is so important because we're all working towards the same end game. We have different features and services and capabilities within us, but collectively, we're going to help all of us be better. So to me, it's a big hug to everybody. Thank you for attending, and join everybody and help us make PMO performance better around the world.
Thank you.
Yes, and I'd like to say that being part of a community is a journey, and you need three things, right, to make this journey worth it. It's passion. It's oh my God, I forgot the second one. it's passion, patience. Yes, passion, patient, and you should. I forgot the last one, but you should insist. Oh my God, what is the last P? I can't remember the word in English.
Persistence.
Persistence, yes. Oh, thank you very much. So you should have passion, you should have patience, and you should persist. That's the point. So this journey is not a 1 year journey. It's not a 1 month journey. You can be part of one or many communities for years. And sometimes you can't see, the benefits and the results. It looks like maybe there are no clear benefits, but when you look behind you after some time, you see how much you learned, how much you developed yourself, and how many opportunities you have today because of your past steps. So you can trust that it's a very, very interesting opportunity for everyone. anytime in your professional life.
And from my perspective, I would like to just say that we need to have like depth. I mean, we need to just learn more about our topic, but we also need to learn more about other things. Okay, it's crossing the border. The more that you are a hammer, the more than everything looks like a nail. And that's the point. It's like we need to talk about PMO, but we also need to talk about the strategy. We also need to know about human skills and how to just work with people and portfolio and all these other things. We need to be working together because you need to create this skill in depth, but you also need to have wideness in learning and knowing what's going on. And that's the reason I like to be with you. I am a member of PMO Global Alliance, of course. I'm a member of the
You are a
American.
fellow, right? It's not only a member; you are a fellow. It's a very special member.
Very special member. The thing is, because I think that we need to just be working together and understanding what's going on. Okay, we do in Latin America something called Change Makers Initiative. We go with members from different industries, IT, construction, mining, oil and gas, healthcare, etc. And we bring people from PMO Global Alliance, Inter-American Development Bank, all this, because together we can just create this skill and depth that we need to have in order to work together.
Yeah.
So with that said, thank you so much for being here and thank you for allowing me to be the moderator. And I hope that you continue enjoying this event and have a great afternoon in Europe or a great day here in this side of the ocean. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.